Hi guys. Morning. Hi guys. Morning. Hi guys. Morning. Hi, this is Jonathan. Okay, sure. I had the other channel on, so sorry. I'm a newbie, so forgive me. Hi Guitar Journey, hi Timothy, hi Ryan, hi House, hi Chuck. Good morning. Yeah, I just woke up, so well not really, I woke up about 2 hours ago. Yeah. Hi Leonard. Okay, so post your questions. If there's anything you want to ask me, just go right ahead and I'll try my best to answer you. Hi Ben. Morning. Hi Scott. Hi Leilas. Hi Robert. Lorenzo from Texas. Cool. Hi Chris. Morning. Um, to answer Guitar Johnny's question, do I have a practice routine? Currently no. The only practice I actually get is when I'm doing YouTube videos or I'm doing my sessions or when I'm doing my sessions. But there'll be time when I'll just kind of sit around and there's nothing to do. I'll just play something in my amp. Not this one, the one below. And yeah, I just quietly play and try to get some inspiration. And that's probably where I get my practice from. Right? Hi, Brandon. To answer Robert's question about how long did I took to do the come together video, well, the fact of the matter is, actually did this arrangement for a concert many years ago, and they wanted me to do arrangement of come together, so I did that, and this is part of the mock-up that I did many years ago. We're talking like what 6 years ago, and I had it on my hard disk. So what I did was to record some parts, re-record some vocals, and that's what you got. Yeah. So the fact is, actually, it took years to make. What guitar? Um. Okay. To answer house, it's kind of hard for me to play guitar right now because the way I'm configured with my Apollo Twin and the OBS, I couldn't get it uh to work in such a way that I can record, I can play, and you can hear it. The only thing that you can probably hear is pre-recorded parts, and I probably can show you certain things later on as we go through this live chat. Maybe the next episode or something like that. I can probably show you what I do with my Helix and stuff like that. But to play live, that's gonna be a challenge because I'm not configured up to that point yet. So give me some time. I'll probably get there. All right. Hi, laughing hyena. Fresh, huh? I didn't have enough sleep because the neighbor upstairs was like, making a whole lot of noise until 4 a.m. So I have a talk with them sooner or later. Lorenzo, where can we see your concerts and you playing? There are a couple of YouTube videos out there where I did concerts many years in the past. So you need to type down my Chinese name, and if you can get that, yeah, you can probably do a search. Okay. Layla's, yeah, Layla's Guitar Daddy. Yeah, thank you. I love to praise and worship God. That's something that I always love to do ever since I became a Christian. One of the gifts that I have from God. Okay, Christopher, if you are using the amp, does it mean you don't use the Helix Native often? Yes and no. I use the Helix Native uh, all the time when I'm doing recordings or when I'm doing videos that I do. The only time I actually practice on the Helix Native is when I'm kind of like rehearsing for my concerts, for my sets. So I have all these set lists, and I'll play along with the original. So try to copy the original solos if I need to. Half the time I kind of wing it. So I try to use my Helix Native so that I can kind of adjust and set into place the effects that I'm going to use, and the volume and the gain structure. So once I have it, I will just save it. It's kind of tedious, but in the end, I have to think of it as a whole when I'm doing a concert. I don't use snapshots like for every bar or every bridge section or verse. I don't do that at all. So I try to get it all in a way where it's kind of like generic in a way, so I can use all these effects for all the songs in that concert. So this is what I do. So I use the Helix Native to do that, and when I'm soloing, which effect sounds the best. Right? Where are we now? You guys are really gracious. You guys are like taking it slow. Old man here. So, haven't you ever, Timothy? Have you ever used an iPad for M-Sims? No, unfortunately, no. Maybe one day. Hi, Mike. How are you? I'm doing fine, as you can see. JB57. If you're starting to watch, okay. All right. I hope you learned something from these videos. Early Curtis, what's your favorite GNL of all the ones that you have played? Cody. Right. My absolute favorite. My absolute favorite would be the GNL Comanche. It's another one. But no, I don't own all these guitars. So far I've this GNL Comanche, the S500, in the Blues Boys. I love the Comanche a whole lot because of the humbucking, the semi-humbucking properties they have, noise cancelling, and it sounds really good. I could get a stretch sound, but a little fatter, and the neck plays beautifully, and it looks gorgeous. So, and tremolo arm, don't get me started on a tremolo arm. The tremolo arm is a dream to play on. Right? The Blues Boys, especially the Floating Deluxe Blues Boy, the one behind me. Right? Now this is my close second favorite. I like it because of the way it sounds, especially on the first pickup, the neck pickup with the humbucking. And that's my favorite. The S500 has its own unique sound altogether. It just sounds like a Strat, a real good sounding Strat. And I have a lot of Strats, so yeah. So yeah, GNL Comanche, that's my favorite. Hi Ramlan. Okay, Guitar Journey. How does using a mouse and a keyboard affect your playing? Do you get any pain in the wrist? Yeah, yes and no. Okay, I'm a gamer. Still am a gamer. So I used to play like, first person shooting games, and I used to with the keyboard here, your wrists are like in an awkward position, and then you have a mouse. I actually use a track ball, and it's not those normal mouse. This is a track ball, so it saves a bit of wear and tear on my right hand. But my left hand suffers the most because of the way it's been stretched, and that will affect my playing if I play too long. I play games for too long. And there were times when I was like addict, I was like spending 10 hours playing. So I ended up with frozen shoulders, both shoulders, and that was painful. And that is something that I'm aiming to avoid as much as possible. So now I kind of like curtail my game playing time to maybe 1 hour tops. 2 hours, okay, 2 hours. Right. Hi Dudley, how are you? Mike Camps. Orange wood guitars. Unfortunately, no. Haven't got my hands on any one of them, so I've heard a lot of reviews about them, but I have actually played on one. can possibly tell you. Frank Lopez, hi, from LA, huh? I have three godchildren in LA, two goddaughters and a godson, and they're living around Arcadia in the neighborhood. Hope you guys are doing fine there. Chuck, I love my Langley. This Langley below me. This is one of the earlier ones. Is made in the UK. Nowadays, most Langley amps are made in China. Something about this amp, because it's tube, it's tube driven. There are a whole lot of tubes in it. I just did a retubing in it, and it sounded incredible. I'm not using this a lot because when I'm recording now, I just lazy. I just use the Helix Native for everything. But it'd be fun to like do an album or do a session with this amp. Who knows? Maybe one day. But now I'm just using it predominantly for practice and just the noodle stuff. Great sound. Leonard, do you use a compressor a lot for your? Oh yes, I do. Part of my SOP, standard operating procedure for my effects, for audio effects, is the compressors come first. But if you have a noise gate, yeah, the noise gate comes first. But then the important thing is the compressor, because when I'm doing like rhythm, especially the funk rhythm, I need it to be like in your face, so that it doesn't go flabby on me. You know what I mean? So you need to be like real tight. And the compressor is one of the tools that I utilize since I started playing the clubs back then. I was using compressor all the time. It's virtually on all the time. So I had it set in maybe like a 2.1 ratio threshold, just not overly compressed, just enough to keep everything tight, and that's about it. If I really want a real compressed sound for certain lines, then I'll probably use another compressor if I need to. But most of the time, I'll make do with the amp compression, the tube compression. It works. Yeah. This is Aleph Norazman. Yes. Hi. You used to stay in JB. Good for you. Yeah. Jacob, do you play any guitar with a Bigsby trem? I recently did. I don't own a guitar with a Bigsby trem. I recently did a review on the Vintera Tally with the Bigsby. You know what? The Bigsby, if it's set up properly, it works. It works like a dream. But if it's not set up properly, it's gonna be a hindrance because it doesn't stay in tune that well. Cosmetically, it looks really, really good. It look cool with a Bigsby, with the hardware and everything. If you have a guitar well made and with nice grain, it looks fine. But I can't actually say that I enjoy playing on a Bigsby unless I'm doing a lot of country western stuff, Rider in the Sky stuff. But I'm happy with my tremolo system that I have with the GL, the dual fulcrum, or even the Wilkinson bridges, and they're fine. So I prefer the normal tremolo bridge than the Bigsby. Yeah. Right. What is this? Brandon, I have noisy neighbors. Also, which is a source of anxiety when I practice. Any suggestions? Talk to them. Yeah, I spoke to my neighbor twice, and they would make a whole lot of noise around 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. And that's kind of frustrating, especially when you're trying to get sleep, like last night. I'm trying to be as fresh as I can be to this morning. So talk to them, Brendan. Who knows? Maybe give them a cookie, or a cake. That might help. Right? Okay, Aleph, could you recommend the first 3 pedals to get? A compressor, distortion pedal, and the delay. Basically, this is 3 that I need. If you're playing with an amp, right? If you have an amp with a built-in reverb, that's the 3 pedals that you will need to play anywhere, a gig or anything. I used to play with 3 pedals all the time, just a compressor, a distortion, a good overdrive or distortion, and a delay, a good delay. Don't get those cheapo ones. Yeah, a real good delay. Fine, you're set. Hi, Thomas. 早晨. Okay, Anna West, live from Mexico. What's that word? Oh man, I forgot my Spanish. Anyway, greetings, good morning from my side, right? Thank you. Layla's Guitar Daddy, has this lockdown affect your gigging? Yes, Layla's. It affects my work substantially because most of the gigs have been cancelled all the way till I don't know when. My next scheduled gig will be in Singapore in September, but then again, it's kind of flimsy. I don't know whether the venue will be open by then, or whether they'll extend the lockdown. Right now, it's until 1st of June. Might go longer. So who knows? I'm just blessed to have current work going on because I still have an album to produce and couldn't do anything because of this lockdown. So there's still work for me to do at home, and of course the video, the YouTube channel that you guys are part of. Thank you guys too, and other things like sessions. China, right? Mainland China is slowly getting on its feet, so there are productions happening slowly, picking up. Taiwan too. Yeah, hopefully it will pick up. Right. I need a Telecaster. Okay, Timothy. I need a Telecaster, and on a budget, I'm gonna get a Harley Benton. Which would you recommend that would need the least modification? I would say, depending on what you want to get. If you want to get a real traditional like Tele, then the T70 would be the good one. Or the fact of the matter is that the pickups, if you're happy with the pickups, the Roswell pickups that comes with it, TE70, then you're fine. There's no need to do any modification because it comes with a 3 brass saddles. Looks really good with a black paisley. And a maple neck. The neck, the nut is okay. I mean, you can get by with the proper setup. So I would recommend that, the T70 black paisley. Right. Hi, Labelle. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Eric. That's good to hear from you. Okay. So, do you know the way? So, hi, Rick. You're from San Jose, right? Oh, cool. I was supposed to go there actually. The last trip in where is this? In the States, in Atlantic City and Reno. We were supposed to go for a day trip to San Jose. Didn't work. So anyway, so I got you on a hunt for a Comanche. If the lockdown was over, I could determine what next. Oh, I like, yeah. The Comanche comes in with just the classic C shape. If it's the run-of-the-mill release, you can probably get a custom-made one. And you have it fitted with a modern C, so it's kind of thinner, more easier in the hands. But for me, it doesn't make any difference because I can play with a U shape. I can play with almost any shape except for those baseball bats. But yeah, probably because I have long fingers. That probably help. Yes, hola, Davis. Hola. Okay. So where are we? Hi, Rick, former B. Okay. So you guys are talking to yourself. Guitar journey. Is there any great hard rock bands in Singapore? Do you have any recommendation to what I should check out? Hard rock bands in Singapore. You know what? I haven't been keeping touch with the local night scene. Is I'm kind of a hermit. I stay at home all the time. And the only time I get out is when I travel for my gigs. So I don't go to clubs a lot, but I know there are a lot of groups out there. There's this group, I don't know where it's still around. Ugly in the Morning. That's a great group. One of the better local groups, and there are a whole lot out there, you know. So you need to kind of ask those guys who plays at night or who hangs out. This is Hola Convincito. Yeah, I hope so. Hola. How do I record my electric guitars for my videos? Okay, so this is gonna take a while. Basically, I use my guitar, and I'll plug into my Apollo Twin. That's the interface. So the interface is being hooked up to my computer, which is my Macintosh Mini, and I have a digital audio workstation. I use Digital Performer from Motu, and I have the Helix Native plugin installed in it. So the Helix Native, you have to buy Helix Native from Line 6. So this is how I record my guitars, and that's for electric guitars, okay? So for the acoustic guitars, I will use a mic. This mic, you can always see me with this mic. And basically, the acoustic guitar to here, to my Upload Twin, and then to my door, straight. So the effects that happens afterwards is post recording, so I could add in my reverb, you know, whatever. The thing about the Apollo Twin is that it's a professional interface in many ways, and it's one of the best interfaces I work with. It's expensive, but it comes with a whole lot of plugins, and those plugins are not cheap. They are really expensive. So I can have different EQs for acoustic guitar. I could have different EQs for my nylon guitars. I could have different EQs for my 12 string. I could have different compression or different compressors, and I can even use the effects on this UAD Apollo Twin. UAD basically, right? A post recording, so I could have my Lexicon 480L as a reverb and stuff. It's great stuff. So, but it all costs a lot because every plugin costs a lot, and that's the thing, right? So it's an investment. See now. So where are we? Okay, you guys are running too fast for me. Okay, so left. I would buy a HB Ali Benton JA60. All right, yeah. I actually requested one for review, so hopefully it get to me in time, somewhere next month, right? Okay, so ¿Cómo está, Antonio? ¿Cómo está? Oh, you're from Houston. Sorry. Hi. Okay. Eric, John, and others that may be inclined, could you pray for me and my family? Wife asked for a divorce 6 weeks ago. Oh, I'm especially worried about my daughters who are 6 and 7. Sorry to hear that, Eric. Yeah. Divorce is a hard thing to go through. I have many friends who have went through divorces. Well, on your end, you could probably try, try, try to reconcile if it's possible. If there's any chance of a reconciliation, that'll be the best. But if she's set on her ways, and if circumstances are different, then you have to be mentally and emotionally prepared for what's to follow. Now, I will pray for you. Definitely, I will pray for you. I'll keep you in my prayer. Okay, so Layla's, John, thanks for your upbeat, positive attitude. Thank you, Layla's. Okay, Eric, again. John, have you used the Helix HX Stomp? Can't remember if you've done a video. I was thinking about that, or the Pod Go. Now, the fact of the matter is that I did a review on the HX Stomp, and I actually posted my views on it. I wasn't really too keen on the HX Stomp. 3 buttons. I'm like a stomper. I like variations in my live gigs, my live rig. But the HX Stomp is very limiting in many ways. I'm spoiled because Helix just spoils you. And for the Pod Go, I played with the Pod Go, and I'm really impressed with the Pod Go. So that's something that you might be interested in. I actually did a review of it, but I can't release it right now because certain circumstances. But it's gonna be released soon, I hope, and you can take a look and take a gander at how the pot go is, or what the pot goes are about. For me, I like the pot go a lot, a lot. I will be getting one. Yeah, too much gears. Anyway, I will be getting one when times are better. Okay, when there are jobs coming in. It's a great piece of gear to own, right? Let me see that. What is this? Hi, Rick. How did Hendrix ever get such great sounds with all this technology? It's all here, man. Hendrix had it all here. He's one. I've seen a lot of his documentaries about his life. He's one guy who thinks a lot. I think he spends a whole lot of time thinking about how do I get this and what do I do with my tremolo arm. What what sort of effects would I get if I get close to the amp? What sort of feedback would I get? I think he's one of those thinking guitarists. And I used to be like that, but I don't play half as good, even quarter as good as him. But to be a guitarist, you need to use your brain every now and then. So being a guitarist is not a no-brainer job. Most guitarists I've known are intelligent people. Okay, I'm not praising myself, but most of them are, because they actually spend time sitting down, thinking about, okay, so I have this whole bunch of effects now. How do I change this? Should I put this before, put this after? What sort of effects is sounding good? What sort of strings should I use? Stuff like that. And you always keep your mind going. So we use our brain a lot. So Hendrix probably spent a whole lot of time fooling around with his gear, with his amps, and having the confidence to do what he do on stage, because he's so ingrained with his guitar. He walks around with his guitar. He goes to the toilet with his guitar. He goes everywhere with his guitar. Something to learn. Okay. Right. So I'm going. Okay. So let me see now. Who's this? Fer Ramirez. I like tone. Okay. Honduras. Wow. Nice. Love to go to South America one day. Right. Chicago. Judo Dado. Okay. Thank you. I enjoy playing my Harley Benjons, For Ramirez, no, I haven't played on the Paradise yet, so I didn't even know such a guitar exists for Harley Benton. Probably have to check it out. Okay. Right, so yeah, the Les Paul, yeah, I'm probably. Yeah. Okay, Laylis. Any love for Paul Reed Smith guitars? That's a sensitive question. I'm gonna tell you straight. I hate guitar snobs. I hate guitar players who will look down on other guitars just because they're of an inferior brand or because they're cheaper than the guitar own. I've known a couple of guitar snobs, and it just don't cut for me. I just it just doesn't make sense to me. But I guess it's all down to this person or individual, each individual's character. You're a snob. If you're a guitar snob, you're probably an arrogant fella. So we get a few of those every now and then in our lifetime. Now PRS guitars are really well made. They have the nicest grain, nicest components. Some of the guitars that I played from PRS are really good, but it's the pricing. The pricing is the turnoff for me because they're overpriced, in my opinion. And they have all sorts of arguments saying that these woods are exotic woods, and the things I've used. But for a working guitarist, it just doesn't make sense to own a PRS unless you're like Carlos Santana, or unless you're earning like $1 million a gig. Yeah, you probably can own a couple of PRS, but for a working musician, it's just way out. So I played with some of PRS. I kind of like them. They're well made, well constructed. But that's about it. I played some Harley Bentons that just played just as well as the PRS. So go figure. Okay. Right. So hi Timothy. Yes. GER. Grant. Yeah. Which multi effects pedal would you recommend to get really nice Fender sparkly tones? I can't afford a Helix or anything in that price range. Well, wow, that's sparkly. Sparkly Strat tone is there. If you get a good Strat with good pickups, single coil pickups, it's there. It's already there in the guitar. So all you need to do is just plug it to the amp, get a good amp, have the brightness switch on, and or the presence control turn up, and you have a bright guitar, a bright Strat tone. You don't even have to buy any effects for this. So it's all about EQing. A lot of guitarists find it hard to tone into their tone because of the lack of knowledge about the EQ and how it works. Um, I used to come from the old school of thoughts where everything is just to the max. That was before I became a studio engineer. And after I had my experiences in the studio, I approach equalization in a different way. What I do most of the times, do a new amp that I'm reviewing on playing, I'll have it all set right smack in the middle. And if I'm hearing, it's you, okay? It's your frame of mind. If you're hearing and you like what you're hearing with all the settings on flat, like, on the middle, don't touch it. If you like it, that's it. But, what I do is I'll probably from there, I can do some compensation. So sometimes when I need a little bit more highs, instead of bringing up the highs, I'll bring down the lows. So kind of a reverse psychology thing, but it actually works because if you bring down your lows, it's your highs in a way, or rather you do not enhance your highs, but the highs will become more prominent. Okay? The mid control, like I always stated, the mid control is the important component in any EQ section in an amp. The mid controls will probably fall around the region, or maybe I don't know, maybe about 2K, 600, 700 hertz, and that's the region where you have the body. A lot of guitars have a real scoop sound because, like, for example, the Chic, Nile Rodgers, right? He plays all these funky guitars in the Chic. Freak out. So all these are really nice Strat tones, but they are scoop in the middle so that you can have that high and timbre, the high timbre and the low just nice, and it's good for rhythm. But when you're playing like a line, you want to have the mids and highs. So that's why the mid control is very important. Hope this helps. Okay, so what more? So another one we are on. Okay, willful thinker. Hi. Who are a few of your favorite all-time guitar players? Okay. Off the cuff, Jay Graydon, Steve Lukather, Dan Huff, Michael Landau, great player, and then of course the all-time greats like Lee Ratner, Larry Carlton, other guy. That's his name. Erklug. Yeah, I mean Erklug is like so far away from these guys, right? But I love Erklug's phrasing, the way he approaches the nylon guitar. He's a fantastic. So melodic phrasings are really spot on. Actually, win a lot from him. The acoustic. Um, Steve Lukather is one of my earliest influence back in the 70s, 78, about 78 and in the late 70s. He always freaked me out with his runs, his fast runs. But what freaks me out the most about him is his control. That's his vibrato and his choice of note. And it's later on that I discovered that he actually been influenced was influenced by Jay Graydon. a whole lot, and a lot of guitarists, you know. And Michael Landau has that sort of a feel, a similar feel to it. They're doing all the sessions in LA back then. And you hear a lot of those recordings. Probably sometimes you can't actually tell the difference between Steve Lukather and Michael Landau. But after a while, you can kind of like, okay, this is Michael Landau because of the tone that Michael Landau has. And Jay Graydon is another complete genius. You know, he's got fantastic phrasing, and the way he approached a rock guitar solo with his bebop influence, his jazz influence, is like mind blowing. And it's not really that hard to play, but it's so melodious. You know, it just flows. And I really like the way he like make his guitar sound real thick by using a pitch shifter or, you know, close double delay. And this is something that I picked up many years ago when I first started listening to him, to Jay Graydon. Yeah, something to check out, like Jay Graydon. And Dan Huff. Dan Huff is a phenomenal player, and he kind of came in much later than Steve Lukather and Michael Landau, the LA recording scene. He's now based in Nashville, so he produces a lot of country albums. He's a great singer. You know, check out his group called Giant. Great hard rock stuff and phenomenal guitar. Very melodic, very fast. What's this? Okay, I'm kind of like lagging here. So, Astro Pop. Do I prefer a Vox or a Langley amp? The fact of the matter is, no, neither. I got the Langley because it was on sale. It was pre-owned. It was in quite a bad condition. I bought it because I needed a practice amp, and I didn't want to spend too much money. My favorite all-time amp is a Fender DeVille Hot Rod DeVille. That's my favorite amp. So, okay. Do I ever feel tired, guitar journey, or fed up with all the gear and options we have? Do you feel like it's like an open ocean to explore? Yeah, at times it gets a bit overwhelming because, you know, like I said in my video about the Line 6 Helix ecosystem, I just kind of barely touched the surface of the capability of my Helix. It's a bit overwhelming, you know. And after a while, you're not hearing any difference as you go effects to effects, you know, especially among the distortion pedals. And I tend to stick to some amps that I like, and once in a while when I'm doing recordings, I would change amps. It's kind of like have some options available, but to have that ocean of options available to you is a bit overwhelming at times. So again, it's a frame of mind. Take it easy. Take it easy. Okay, just take it at one step at a time, effect at a time. Right. So right. Do I like okay, William Liu. Hi, how are you? Do I like Line 6 Helix better than KPA and AXE? Well, I can't possibly tell you this because I haven't tried the rest of them, KPA or the AXE, or the Facto, for the fact, are part of the pun. I've stuck with Line 6 stuff since the beginning, so I'm pretty satisfied with what I am. I guess the key word is being contented, not complacent, right? There's a whole difference between complacency and contentment. I'm kind of contented with the sound I'm getting because I have, like, you know, the previous answer, I have this ocean of choices available to me. So why do I need to go anywhere else when I'm happy? So a lot of times sometimes we think too much. Sometimes we seek too much. And there's this fine line that you need to be able to discern whether you are being complacent or whether you are being content. Think about. Okay, so let me see now. Hugh Caldwell. How are you, buddy? What do you ask? You asking like, hey John, how different sounding are the MFD pickups in the GNL Doheny and the S500? If I'm not mistaken, the GNL Doheny has a different pickup. I think those are like MFD Jumbo. And then the S500 is just your normal single coil MFDs. They're very different. The Doheny pickups, the MFD jumbo, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not really entirely sure it's jumbos, but they are fairer than the normal single coil MFD S500. They sound really good. Okay, one thing I tell you, I really enjoy playing on a Doheny. You know, if I have money to burn, you know, I will probably buy a Doheny. What I like about Doheny is because he has that dual fulcrum tremolo arm, you know, and he has this weird shape which is so so amazing, and it sounded real good. You know, I enjoyed myself playing it. I remember, you know, as I stated many times, sometimes when I look back at a guitar, at a review that I did, I'll be like amazed with the sound this guitar has. You know, like, wow, that's what happened to my Blues Boy. This one. Because I was looking back at the review I did for this Blues Boy, but in another color. You know, why did I let this one go? I should. No, this is a great guitar, and that's why I bought it. So the Doheny it falls under the category. Okay, right? It falls under the category of me wanting to own it. Well, in times get better. Who knows? Okay, so next question. I gotta put a marker somehow. Like, so do I like Boss pedals? I love Boss pedals, Eric. I've been using them since the longest time. When I first started playing in clubs, Boss pedals are it's what I always use. You know, all I use Boss pedals. Every now and then an Ibanez pedal will sneak in, but it's mostly just Boss pedals. Distortion, the compressors, the delay, even to the little EQs and stuff like that. You know, great. My Blues Boy. Okay, Matthew King. I have a lot of trouble with my Blues Boy. Humbucking, sounding muddy. Okay, right. Yeah. That's part of the reason why. That's one of the reason. One of the problems that I have with the Blues Boy. The fact of the matter is that I actually sold the tribute one with the natural color, the Blues Boy that I had, the Blues Boy tribute. I sold that away and got this because somehow that model, the humbucking, Paul, designed by Paul, his name, right? But it's a bit more darker sounding than this one, the Fullerton Deluxe. And I had a hard time trying to get around it. It's too muddy. I'm not gonna cut through anything. This, on the other hand, sounded just nice. Pretty happy with this rich pickup, Fullerton Deluxe Blues. Okay. Hi, Dino. Hello, Mike. Okay, so hi, Ian. How are you? Are you doing fine? What's your all-time favorite? What's my all-time favorite pedal? The wah wah pedal. Oh, I love the wah wah. I love the wah wah so much. I love it to death. You know, I could spend the whole day just playing wah wah if I need to. Yeah, I love the wah wah pedal because of the many things. Probably I'm so influenced by the old R&B songs I used to hear back in young, Motown stuff. But and then it came to disco, you know, 70s to disco, and it waka waka waka, and there's like the Shaft, you know, the theme from Shaft. Um, but as I was playing concerts and live gigs, you know, the wah wah is a good way to kind of like injecting something different when you're doing a solo, and that's really cool. I really love the wah wah pedal. Okay, so apart from the wah wah pedal, my favorite all-time pedal would be the delay pedal, right, if I need to choose, because that's where I started learning about volume swells with my pot, my volume pot, instead of using a foot pedal, and that's been the way I play volume swells. All to have volume swells in conjunction with a delay pedal, get really nice accent, dreamlike tone. Okay, guys are discussing among yourself. It's pretty cool. You know. That's what I like about this community that we have in this channel. You guys just talk among yourselves. This is so cool. Right. Eric, have I tried a Boss Katana? No. Unfortunately, no. I heard so much about it, and I'm just dying to try it. But so far, no one has sent me anything. So who knows? Maybe in the future. All right. A multi effects pedal that does um well GR the Helix. Right. It comes really close to the Fender amps that I played before, the twin reverbs and even some of the deluxe models. They're pretty close. Hi, Jeff. Jeff. Okay, if you see Jeff Ang here, Ang, okay, he's a good friend of mine, a good brother. He's the one who actually passed me his what you call that, the Fender, oh no, the Martin D28 Eric Clapton model, and he's the one who passed me the other Strat, you know, D-Rave on SRV. So he owns a lot of nice. What is this question? How often do you have to practice to be a good guitarist? All the time. You have to practice all the time if you need to. You know, I have students who come and say that I have no time to practice. Right. Even when I first started teaching home here, and they would have full time jobs, you know, corporate firms, and they don't have time to sit down and play a guitar. That's understandable, but you know, if you want something real bad, then you have to sacrifice certain things for it. There's no such thing as a free meal. So if I want to be, if I want to excel in my guitar playing, I have to spend time. There's this famous saying you guys probably a lot of you guys would know. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. So you have to spend a lot of time. Back when I was young, I used to spend like up to 10 hours a day. Not joking. I spent 10 hours playing my guitar. To the point where, you know, my fingertips were really hurting, all raw. I had to take a break and then a day and streamline the practice session to down to 5 hours. Subsequently, it's shorter and shorter. As I started playing, I practiced a little bit a lot less because playing. I have band rehearsals. I get practice like 3 hours a day, night gigs, so playing constantly. So if you add it all up, yeah, most of well, not every day, okay? So in average. Right, so night Mahi. Hey, are you Kirk's father? No. My son is Luke. Right? Hi Kalba. Kriba, right? Sorry to hear about that, Ian. Yeah, the auto wah works. You know, I used to have the auto wah function in my old boss. G, what is this? The G, you know, this effects I used to have. GP100, right? It's a rack-mounted effect by Boss or by Roland, and it has the auto wah function in it, and I used to love that. Okay. Hi, Mark. Have I reviewed a Guild D40? No, haven't. Haven't even played one yet. Mm. Okay. Hi, Ram. How are you? Yeah, yes, Rick. I heard the news about the UFO sighting, so I'm just taking it with a whole bag of salt. It's probably something to, like distract people from the current. Everyone is finding themselves at. I don't know. I'm just thinking of off the cuff. Could be a distraction, so that people won't get hung up on the virus and what it does to livelihood. I know times are really bad, especially back in the. But here in Singapore, it's relatively okay because a lot of us have learned to work at home. Working at home is a normal thing even before this virus. So with the internet infrastructure that we have in Singapore, high speed internet, is easy to work at home. So there was a poll taken recently where 80% of of workers in Singapore prefer to work at home and would like the option to work at home after this whole coronavirus, this COVID-19 episode. It might just happen. I don't know. Right? Chuck Rigner, do you like any of the older aria? What's Matsumuko? Matsumuko. Guitars? No. Look, I actually played on an aria one. I owned one years ago. Probably did. Probably one of the aria pros. Right? But it was with me for a shortest time. I sold it away. No, I haven't played one recently. Are they still around? Night, Johnny. Night, Guitar Journey. Right. Hi, Judo Dadu. What do I think of Chapman guitars? I don't know. I haven't tried one yet. Probably because it's not available here in Singapore. So I have no chance to try one yet. Rob Chapman is a great guitarist. So whether a great guitarist equals a great guitar maker, so that's something that I've yet to confirm. They're probably nice. Heard a lot of good things. Yes, Rick. The planet really appreciated the break. You get news coming out from China, especially that Beijing's air is so much better right now, and even in Japan, where they actually see uh, Mount Fuji for the first time after so many years, right? Hi, Robert Clark. So you're here. Good to see you. Hi, Mark Storm from Minnesota. Okay. What you can learn about your spirit of faith through? Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I do appreciate all this encouraging uh, comments that I have through the years. It's been 2 years. Some of you guys are so gracious and so kind. I made a lot of boo boos in my videos, but you guys are always so encouraging. Brothers in Christ, appreciate. I know some of you guys are praying for me. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Ernest. How are you? Good morning. Okay, Georgia Guitar 25. Can pushing down pole pieces on Texas Special affect tone? I did, and I can't get a Texas blues tone. Why would you want to push down a pole piece? Do you know that when you push down a pole piece on your coil pickups might damage your whole pickup. There are windings around the pickup, and you might just break some of the windings. That's it. You're short of one good working pickup. So if you need to push it down, you gotta be really careful. And the only reason why we push down the pole pieces is because maybe one of the strings is too loud. That's why you see staggered pole pieces single coil, because back in the days when you first started doing this, they used to use for a G string, it used to be wounded. Now it's unwound, right? It used to be wounded, so it's really loud, and that's why you have on a G string the pole pieces are a little bit lower. Was it a? Yeah, I think so. It was a third. It was third string. I'm mistaken. Not fuzzy. Still early morning. Right. Yes. Kribar. Korea has always been making great guitars. They have good, fine workmen, craftsmen there. So guitars that came out from Korea, I'm really quite impressed. But I guess production costs has like risen, so they're not as cheap as they used to be. So Vietnam, watch out for Vietnam. Vietnam has great craftsmen too, and the CST 24 from Harley Benton. Those are made in Vietnam. Pretty impressed with the workmanship. Well, now and then you get some shorty or workmanship in there, but I'm sure they'll clean up their act. They'll go do fine. They're going to do fine. They will do fine in the future. All right. What do I watch on YouTube? What do I watch on YouTube? I watch a whole lot of sermons from John MacArthur. I watch a whole lot of history channels, stuff like I'm always intrigued with the past. So I'm a kind of history buff. So I want to learn about past, like how World War One started, how World War Two got started, how the Vietnam War started. What's the rational whole thing, the whole thing behind the Vietnam War, the Korean War. So I'm always into history, even music history. I just recently watched a couple of YouTube videos about the Beatles. Also, some YouTube videos about the bands in the past, like Rolling Stones, how it was back then, how, especially like Jimi Hendrix, right? Documentary I was talking about how music evolved, Janis Joplin and gang, and how they died so young, their curse involved, all these things, and their decadent lifestyle that they had. But then that's where the creative mind, spirit is at, realm. And it's interesting to kind of look back in the past, how it all happened. Eagles, for example, is great. It's a great documentary about the Eagles, how it got started. I was watching just about a couple of hours back. I was watching a clip about Linda Ronstadt and how he met the various members of the Eagles individually, how they got to play together with her in the band, and how she knew back then that Glenn Frey is going to make it big, Don Henley's going to make it big. Interesting, right? Okay, I'm going to spend a bit of time about history. History is very important for a musician because you got to go back to the roots of the music that you're digging. If you dig rock, you got to know a little bit of history about rock and how it got started. What's the whole essence behind it? If you're into country, you have to go back and search the roots as to where country comes from. Country music comes from, hail from bluegrass, hillbilly bluegrass music, back end country and western, and how it kind of evolved through the years to the modern country that we hear now. But essentially, the spirit is still there. So you still hear great songs every now and then from Grand Ole Opry. I'm a fan of Grand Ole Opry. That's one of the YouTube channels that I watch, and it's so refreshing to see performers and singers delivering pure music, and there's no hype, there's no false grandeur about anything. There's no auto tune. A lot of them do not have auto tune. They just sing in pitch. It's just pure in its purest sense. The lyrics, so easy to understand. It tells a story, and that's what I guess songs should be. Songs and music needs to kind of like heal, kind of like minister in a way your soul, your heart. So if a song with good lyrics and good melodies and good music uh, that is the that's the best concoction for any healing of a broken spirit. When I was depressed many years back, the only thing that lifted me up was music that I love. So I played a lot of Eagles. I played a lot of Little River Band, one of my favorite Australian bands, and just to sing along with them in harmony. Yeah, that lifted my spirit. So music is really important for our emotional well-being, and knowing the history of the music that you like is also really important. So that when you play, especially if you're a guitarist, you have that thing going, the mojo going. Not just playing notes for notes. I've seen a whole lot of guitarists playing Hotel California, but they just don't seem to capture the musical sense that Don Felder and Joe Walsh had at the time. Even Joe Walsh doesn't play his original solo note for note per se. There's a bit of a nuances changes, but to understand how Don Felder played that and how Joe Walsh played that, you gotta understand where they come from James Gang, Don Felder. He's a great guitarist, Where did he come from? What was his history? A whole lot of stuff. So you gotta know. Thank you, Banano from Mexico. Right, thank you, Lorenzo. Would you show us your guitar collection? Yeah, well, maybe one day when I'll bring you up to my hall. This room is just too small, and it's gonna be a chore bringing out all the guitars from the cases. It's gonna be a chore, and I'm so lazy. How many guitars do I own? I don't know. I guess about more than 20, maybe hitting 30. Some of the guitars are not here. They're at my friend's house, Jeff. Doesn't sell it yet. Doesn't sell any of them yet. Okay. Abersammic Les Paul. Ah, cool. Okay, so Kendrick Who. What is my favorite Harley Benton guitar? My favorite is the Fusion Pro T. Telecaster, nice looking guitar. Right, this is my favorite Harley Benton guitar to date. Couple of reasons why. Right, when it first came in, it already had locking tuners, right, and the neck looks gorgeous. It looks fabulous. And the body with its maple top, flame top. Um, but what I like about this guitar is the pickups, other pickups, and the fact that the neck is really comfortable. I mean, the neck, I'm familiar with the neck because I have the Fusion Pro or HSH, right? So it's about the same. Only this is a bit smoother. The you call it the satin finish is really nice for this one, and stays in tune. So what more can you ask for? Gorgeous looking guitar and looks good on stage. Split call if you want to, which I seldom use. So, great guitar. This is my favorite Harley Benton guitar to date. So you may ask me what happened to my the green one, right? What is it called? The ocean blue, turquoise blue. I sold that away, right? I sold that away because I needed space, and that guitar sounded almost the same as this. This one plays better than the one, in my opinion. So, let it go. On the modification. Uh, okay, CW. I can't pronounce your name, so it's a CWKCWC. You sit down to play, just to play, acoustic or electric, or both. Of course, when I'm on stage, I don't sit down and play unless it makes sense. You know, like in a setting, like you're doing an unplugged segment, you probably sit down and play. But most of the time, I'm just standing on. Is acoustic or electric. I'll So to touch about the subject, standing up and play is a whole different thing from sitting down and play. Or when you're sitting down, your is right up here, but when you're standing up, it's gonna be down, lower. So the strap position is really important because a lot of guitarists tend to play real low, so they look cool, but then you're gonna have injuries on your wrist, straining it. Put it in a way where you look cool and you get comfortable, right? So compromise sorts, and that's what I aim for. I obviously don't want to look like a nerd with my guitar up here, have it down in a way where it's cool for me, not look awkward. But as age gets on, as if you have a tummy, and even with the tummy tuck that you have in most of your guitars, it doesn't really help. So your guitar kind of protrude out a little bit. I'm sure some of you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. So your guitars used to be like real flush with your body right now, and then as you grow older, as the tummy get bigger, it just kind of like goes up. Then you got to adjust your hand position again. So yeah, that's part and parcel of growing up. Good for you, Ian. I envy those who actually really study like music. I envy those guys who can afford to go to GIT or to Berkeley. For me back then, I couldn't afford any of this. I really wanted to go GIT back then. Couldn't afford it, so I had to be back in Singapore, work my ass off. Chet Atkins. Now, hi Rick. Some of the names that you mentioned are some of my favorite guitarists and musicians. Chet Atkins. I used to love him on one album, where he actually got a whole lot of guitarists to like guest in this album. You have Steve Lukather, you have Earl Klug and guys, and the album was great. It was well produced. It was top notch. Glenn Campbell, like I stated in video when I did the cover of General on My Mind, he's a major influence vocally. I first started hearing his singing song Wichita Lineman back, Honey Come back when I was like 6, 7 years old. His voice has always been a normal staple in my childhood. My dad used to love country westerns. He used to have a whole lot of country music at home. Hi Alfredo, good from California. Oh yes, the Martin D16E. It's a nice guitar. Yeah. I'm glad you ordered it. Hi Bobby. Night Chuck. Night. Yeah, I'll see you later. I'll probably change the timing. Adjust it so that I can reach out to guys in Europe. Yeah. Maybe I'll bring it up a little bit earlier. Back the week up a little earlier, like 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, willful thinker. Another question. How would you describe the feel of the Wilkinson bridge compared to the GNL? Oh, you know what? The Wilkinson bridges that comes in with the Harley Bentons. These are not the top of the line bridges. They're not bad, but they're not the premium models. I've played with the premium models before. I have one installed in my old Japanese Fender Strat, old Japanese Fender. That was a Wilkinson, real nice. I love the dual fulcrum bridge of the because they're sturdy and they responded so well. Well made. I can feel the quality when I've played a whole lot of tremolo in my lifetime, so I know what I'm talking about. Right. So the dual fulcrum bridge is responsive, and Wayne was telling me that he find it too stiff, like too heavy, and that to do like thicker flutter, right? Hard, but I proven him wrong because I can still do flutter on it, and it's relatively easy. It just dependent. It's dependent on how you adjust your springs at the back. It's a whole subject. You got to know about it. Just ask me later on, right? And I'll probably answer you then again. Hey Andrew, for a second I thought I was left-handed. Ah, okay, yeah. I can't switch. Right. Been looking at the Pete Thorne guitar. Hugh, are you looking at the Harley Benton Ocean Turquoise? And that looks like a Pete Thorne guitar. But I prefer this one. I prefer the Fusion Pro TT. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Bellies are really good for slide guitar. You should rename it instead of lap steel guitar. You could probably tummy steel guitar. Yes, Leonard. I know you've always been a fan of country, western, country music. Leonard, by the way, yeah, his persona is comforter spirit, right? He's a great steel guitar player in Singapore, and he used to do a whole lot of sessions. Well, not a whole lot, some sessions with me back in the days. And I guess this is one of the first few times where I introduced pedal steel into the Chinese music scene. So it's pretty cool. And he's a great player, great guy, great all-rounded guy. Still playing in the night. Really impressed. Um, Bobby, country was playing. Ah, oh yeah, right. Okay, how Hugh, right? So your question is how do I get on with my stainless steel frets? Um, well, I love it. Less maintenance. I know that in the future, in the long run, I will have to spend money on refretting. Refretting costs a lot. Costs a whole lot. So that's a load off my mind. That the stainless steel guitar will last really long. One of the things that we guitarists in Singapore face is the humidity weather, and sometimes the frets can get kind of, well, not corroded, but it's a bit chalky. Your bending notes is not as smooth as you would like, and that's why I need to have a fret cleaner, smoothen out. But that's a bit of a time-consuming process, but it's worth it. I have to do I have to do all this constantly with guitars that I play with a lot, like the Harley Benjons or the G. Few months or so, I need to clean up the frets a bit. Even with the Harley Benton, even with the stainless steel frets, yeah, it's not as bad as the normal nickel frets. But less maintenance. High Blue Sound Design. Do I have a problem with the trem bar touching pickup switch? Yeah, no, actually, no. With the tally, with the Fusion tally, no, because relatively out of the way, right? So, when I'm doing wang bar, I don't actually touch the. No, on some guitars, you actually do have a problem. Um, on one of my guitars, I had that problem when I was playing on stage. I think it's my old Fenders, old Japanese Fender Strat. When I'm doing wanging bar, my wang bar, I kind of like flip up the pickup switch. So that was a disconcerting there. But I kind of like figure a way to avoid the pickup selector switch altogether. No, I don't have a problem with that on this. No, Brett, Bent? The name Bent Tom? Do I know the guitarist and Andre Demuth? No, I do not know who he is. Sorry about that. Hi, Dave. Better late than never. Yes, Alfredo. I'm asking you a great song, Touch Your Soul. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a great song written by my brother Jake. And, he's actually a school teacher. Nice, down to earth guy, really gentle spirit. Wrote the song, and I first heard it, thinking it'd be great if I get to sing this. But then again, it's album, so he called. We're just like hoping. And then I asked him, and he says, "Okay, okay, I'm pretty blessed to be able to be a part of it. Love the song." Oklahoma, David. All right, Dave Bingham, you all the way from Oklahoma. And I actually been to Oklahoma once. 2007. I was on my way to Tulsa town, and we drove by Oklahoma, the big open spaces. Now I know where all the country songs come from. You guys are all talking among yourselves. It's so cool. All right, so what? Nothing is buried in the field. Really, Bobby? You used to live in Tulsa? Oh, well, I was there for a ministry trip. I was teaching with a group of guys. Started from LA. We traveled all the way to Tulsa. We went to Dallas. We went to Galveston, Houston. We went to churches there, predominantly Chinese churches, but they're actually all American, right? So went there to hold a worship conference, songwriting, and I encouraged the worship. Pretty fun. I love that trip. That trip was really eventful. I Fender Les Paul 1989 from Peru. Wow. What time is it now? Peru. Yes, Ben. And the cello on that song. Yeah. Uh, it's nice. It's done by a girl called a woman called Huan Yin. She is with the Singapore Philharmonic Orchestra, the Singapore Philharmonic Orchestra, or the Singapore SSO, right? So she's been here for the longest time. She came over from China back in early 80s. Great cellist. We use her a lot in recordings through the years. She's so fast. She's a first sight reader, but when she brings up the cello and play, just first take, it's just always there with the right feel and everything, right phrasing. Incredible player. So it's 10:12 in Peru. Wow, that's like what, 9 hours? No, 11 hours after or before. Yeah, 11 hours before. Cool. Hey, the process in my heart. I know how it feels. I know how it feels, Kriwa. Sometimes you need to kind of get rid of some stuff. Uh, I have a problem myself. Sometimes it's so hard to get rid of stuff that has sentimental value. So I'm a hoarder in every sense of the word. My wife hates it. But there's a lot of stuff I couldn't bear to throw away because of sentimental value. Blue Sound Design, lovely come together cover. Is it my own arrangement? Yes, it is my own arrangement. Glad you liked it. Wow. What is 5:12 in Germany? Like 5 in the afternoon or 5 in the morning? Um, to answer Ben's question, how do I get my vocals to get such a warm tone to your voice? I don't know. Probably because of the damage that's been done to my vocal cords when I was smoking a whole lot. I used to smoke like 2.5 packs a day. So, and I was singing backup vocals in the studio, so that probably caused a strain in my voice. Or so it took a mighty effort for me to stop smoking because I have this voice in my head telling me that don't stop smoking because smoking actually enhances your voice. It makes it real warm and all that. I bought into that bullshit for the longest time, but finally made up my mind. No, I'm not gonna die of lung cancer. I'm not gonna do that. My children tells me quit, and I can't, and I feel such a failure. So I decided to quit, and with the help of God, I managed to quit. Yeah. I guess a lot of it has to do with the way the way you project your voice. And this is something that wasn't taught to me. I learned it through years of experience singing in the clubs, singing in the studio, especially in the studio, because then you know about mic control, how close you should get to the mic and how far you should get when you're screaming, stuff like that. So it's all about volume control. It's a bit like your volume pedal on your Marty effects, but it only applies to your voice. And a lot of it has to do with EQing. Although I don't do a whole lot of EQ on my voice, I do a whole lot of compression on my voice though, so that it sits nicely in the mix. And I do compression even when I'm recording my voice. So in the get-go, when I'm recording, it's already compressed, but not heavily, just enough to kind of like stop the peaks from happening, so that I could get a real nice working signal to work on. Subsequently, I may add further compression if I need to. Sometimes just leave it as it is. So it depends on the song and where you're trying to go with your vocals. And for the fact of the matter is that sometimes you don't have to have reverb on every vocal track. Some songs sound really good without reverb. Like for example, "Come Together." It sounds perfect without reverb. It's dry as can be, heavily compressed. In fact, one of the things that I need to share about "Come Together," if you listen to the main vocal, it was heavily compressed, and I brought up the gain so much that it was kind of distorted. It's distorting, and that was the effect that I wanted to go for. So it was a bit distorting and it was heavily compressed. So I just wanted that sound for that song. Yeah, if I don't smoke, I can hang with the cool kids. The fact of the matter is when I stopped smoking, I lost a whole lot of friends. Yeah, well, not really, because close friends will never leave you. Good friends will never. They would push me cigarettes like, "Hey, have a stick," and I said, "No, I quit." They said, "What? Come on, come off it. You're joking, right?" Stick, I said, "No, I quit." And they, some of them, she took offense to it. And said, "What? You quit? You're one of those fellas? You know, you found Jesus or something like that?" I said, "Yeah." And they took offense. So yeah, but that's life. Come see, come sorry. Um. Oh no, no, no! Don't take up smoking just because you want to sound cool. Frank Sinatra died of lung cancer. He had a great voice. He smokes. Dean Martin smokes. There's a whole lot of singers that used to smoke a whole lot in the studio, and it's always been a pain for us, especially when I'm a studio engineer, because I had to walk into a recording booth filled with smoke, secondhand smoke, and I'm a smoker myself, right? So this guy would be singing with his ashtray and smoking and singing, thinking that it would help his voice. But the fact of the matter is that your technique, your vocal technique, is the one. That's the one. Sorry, Don. So I don't do requests. Although I did a cover of One of These Nights many years before. Um, yeah, I did the whole thing, the whole shebang, guitar solos and everything. Great song. But I don't do requests. I don't do requests. Sorry. Yeah, I'm also looking forward, Bobby, to my own signature model, which I don't think will happen. Um, then again, the thought never came to my mind. Harley Benton is a great company. I love the fact that they actually support musicians. Anyways, I try to do like an honest review of the guitar. That's the happening, but most of the guitars that I own or I bought from Harley Benton, great. There are certain things that well, like every now and then jobby workmanship pickups. The Russell pickups are really not up to par. Well, that could be an overstatement. I'm not trying to correct myself, backstabbing, but it's my opinion, right? Because I'm looking for a certain kind of sound. So, like the HAF pickups, for me, it didn't quite resonate with. I prefer the LAF, Cali. I find those are much sweeter. Oh, could I be mistaken? Could I be please? Anyway, the ones on the CST24, those are the LAF, the HAF, and they sounded good on that guitar, CST20, but it didn't sound good on the Fusion Pro, the HSH. So it's this proof my point that well, it's my theory anyway, but not just mine. Wayne shared the same sentiment. Wood has an effect on the tone, whether the sound is generated by the pickups. You can argue about that until the cows come home, but I've heard the difference. Have the same HAF on Fusion Pro HSH and same HAF pickups on CST24. That's right. Hey, Eric, again, have you ever used a stereo rig, wet, dry, wet rig? Oh, oh yeah. Fact of the matter is that what you're hearing right now on the YouTube channel, YouTube videos that I do, even though it's from Helix Native, actually running a dual setup. So, meaning I have 2 amps. I'm going to try to do a screen capture if I. So just hang on, just bear with me for a while, okay? Yeah, I'm just going to show you what is on my Helix Native, so you can have a general idea what I do my setup. Sorry about that. Hope you haven't had your earphones on. Okay, so computer is running slow now because of the many resources that it's using. Yeah, I'm going to do a screen capture and see whether you can see this. All right, can you see this? I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I'm going to show you my go-to preset for my Helix, where I'm using a sort of a stereo setup. Right, so this is my solo patch on my Helix. I'm actually using 2 amps, right? So the signal chain comes in from here, and here I have a noise gate activated. So in case I have a single coil guitar, this will help a lot. And then when I get go, right after that, I have a compressor. So I'm using a deluxe compressor here, and I'm set it to this is because this patch is a solo patch, meaning it's a high gain patch. So I compress it pretty heavily the 3.1 ratio. Not that heavy, but I have the threshold down. And right after that, I have a bar if I need one, using my Helix floorboard. And then comes the first amp. Now, if you notice, I have a split here, right? So I'm just splitting this. So one will go here and one will go there as the chain goes. So this other one will go down to this lower path. So it looks kind of confusing, but in theory, I'm having this on one side of the speaker and another amp, which is the German Mahadeva on the right hand side, and the solo lead OD on the left hand side. And I'm using IR, so I'm not using the caps that comes in with the amplifier, so I'm using an IR. I have like what, same IRs or different IRs? Different IRs. Okay, so I have different IRs or different caps for both amps, and they are all pan left and right, but they all come together, right? They all come together here with a post EQ, and I have a dual pitch for a synth kind of sound, and then I have a simple pitch shift to get that J gradient sound, doubling effect, and then my volume pedal, and then I have my delays and my reverb. That's how the whole signature chain is all about, right? So this is how I get my stereo patch, right? So if you want to have if you do own a Helix and you want to have a copy of this patch, you can always download it from the video about the Helix Stomp, because I actually uploaded some patches around with it. One of the patches do consist of stereo setup. If it's not there, then let me know. Night, Bobby. Yes, Blue Sound Design. You're doing gigs for tourists and all that. Yeah, Harley Benton is the way to go. They're cheap. Well, not that cheap, but they're affordable. So it doesn't it won't break your heart if it happens. I mean, if you're gigging constantly, good to have a. Obviously, it's essential to get a working guitar that plays well, sounds great, yet easy to take on the road. Yeah, get a Harley Benton. Gone so. Harley Benton shipping fee is so expensive. But the fact of the matter is actually you don't have to do it alone. You can actually get some other friends who are interested in getting some stuff on Harley Benton and ship it together. And that's what I do. I order my guitars. I'll ask my friend whether they want any other things from Harley Benton, like a guitar or something like that, big cases or anything. Because for the $78 Singapore dollars that I have to pay for shipping, it constitutes 30 kg of weight. So I could actually ship anything below 30 kg, and it still costs me $8. So I could split the delivery charges with my friends. So in the long run, it makes sense. The only downside to this is because Singapore has a tax. So if my whole purchase exceed a certain amount, like $400 Singapore, I have to pay GST, which is tax, and that is a bummer. If you're sharing, always good to share that too. Just me. Have I tried HB with Floyd Rose? Oh no, not with the HB, but I have Floyd Rose guitars, Floyd Rose equipped guitars. I like Floyd Rose for what it does. No fear of 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 it being out of tune when you're doing aggressive tremolo bar work. The only thing I don't like I said many times, is the convenience of changing strings. That's the only thing. So I've learned to use normal tremolo arms. Happy with it. Thank you, Rick. Uh, Dave, actually, I did share a couple of videos about my stage set. Basically, it's real simple. It's just my Helix floorboard directly out. I don't even have to use a direct box. Stereo out directly from the Helix to main house, or rather to whatever patch they have, and it's hooked up to the monitor, so I'm hearing it back to my Avions in years. Another two stereo signal work in house. That's about it. Simple. And I have a separate connection for my acoustic guitar. Now I could actually use my acoustic guitar with my Helix floorboard, but I chose not to because I'll tell you why. Right? A lot of people ask me why do you use a acoustic patch for your acoustic guitar and have it like two line out and solve all the problems. The problem is when you have things at hand and you tend to like use it, right? So if I were to hook my acoustic guitar to my multi effects or to my Helix, I would tend to put in a little bit of reverb, and then you get a bit more compressor and stuff like that, and then you get carried away. Soon enough, you're gonna have like chorus on the acoustic guitar. I always believe the acoustic guitar should just remain pure. In any case, why should I do all this adjustment for front house monitor, or the monitor summing, or the front of house monitor? Let him earn his keep. Let him do some work. So I'm gonna give him a clean acoustic signal, and he's gonna do his magic. That's my train of thought. Yes, Ramlan. Well, no, I haven't tried any Strandberg's guitars. Night, Bobby. Night, Eric. Okay, so I guess it's time to have to call this off. Any more questions before I knock this off? So I hope you guys enjoy yourself for the past 1 hour and a half. First live chat. Hope I didn't do too badly. Right? You guys take care. See you again real soon. Edward Rayner. Do I use compression on gain channel? What I don't get. I don't get your question. Do you mean I use it? Do I use a compressor before the amp? Or what was your question? Hi, Vern. Hi, Vernon. Legacy special. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't tried one yet. Actually, I tried the Legacy, but I haven't tried the Legacy. Yes, Edward. Your compressor before overdriven amps. Yes, yes, yes. I was replying to someone's comment early on that the compressor is virtually on all the time. And so yes, a compressor before an overdriven amp, or a compressor before a new amp. Um, Now, for individual settings, like for example, if I want to have a different patch for an overdriven sound, I would have compressor, because then I would probably set it differently from what I would normally set for a clean sound. So I'll probably compress a little more so that it comes out really round, solid. so that it hits your your overdrive preamps. Right. So yeah, I'm gonna knock off. Uh, hopefully I see you again in the next live chat. You guys take care.